Filming with the McGee.
Diet Coke.
Gotta make sure it's Diet Coke. Did you want one?
You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Okay. You look nice.
Thanks. I tried. I have to sit next to you and
You have
I
to
just look
sit
like
next to me. You guys kind of put us far apart. Are people gonna read into this? Am I gonna go like this and then they're gonna like do the arrows?
the body triangle.
Yeah. 10-year regrets, or not 10-year regrets.
10 years of regret.
10 years of regret.
I regret it all.
It's been 10 years since we launched Studio McGee, and I can't believe it. Where were you when you started following along on our journey? Maybe it was a project that inspired you. Maybe you started following us when you discovered us at Target, or you watched our show.
I've been following you since you were Syd and McGee Design. So
You've been following along for more than 10 years.
we're gonna take you through all the ups and downs and fun things along the way that maybe some of you have missed and some of you have been there for.
Do you think there have been more ups or downs throughout this process?
Net, probably break even.
We're
but
probably break even, to be honest.
I think that we forget a lot of the ups because we're very focused on what's ahead.
Just keep on going.
It's beautiful.
Maybe we should make this feel a little more positive. Being an entrepreneur is hard. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes and a lot of tough decisions that we've had to make. But we have had more successes than failures. I don't think that the ups and downs are going anywhere in the next 10 years. So it's just a part of the process.
We're in it together. We always have been.
Yeah.
And having someone that is on the level and I can share everything with really makes those downs easier to navigate and the ups more fun.
Yeah. We've designed hundreds of homes over the years, our team has, but we're going to share the most pivotal ones with you today.
So one of our first projects in Utah was actually Tam Tam's house in Midway.
It's my mom's house.
So, well,
It is like
kind
my
of,
mom's house and
and
my
your
dad
dad
just
lives
lived there. My parents were moving from Texas to Utah. I was early in my design career and my mom was very generous to say, would you like to help me on the design of this home? So I jumped at the opportunity, and it was in the time when the farmhouse style was really big, and I did not want to lean fully into that, but there are some elements that I think got pulled in from
some winks, some nods.
some winks and nods to the farmhouse style. I love a white kitchen. This was one of my first white kitchens. We did soapstone countertops on the surround and Carrara marble on the island, and it polished nickel faucets. The great thing about choosing classic shapes is that it can take a coat of paint and give it a refresh and a new life without having to just completely rip things out. A lot of the things that I did in that home still ring true to what I do today. So the next project, the next pivotal project.
Modern mountain home.
Modern mountain home. This was a large custom estate vacation home in the mountains, and it was the first project where we were starting from plans phase.
I feel like a lot of those early projects were a lot of you showing you could do different styles and still have a continuity of like Shea and McGee design through them.
We were establishing what we stood for, and I really wanted to make sure that our materials were timeless. I keep saying the word timeless, and I think that that's because I know that the furniture and the styling evolves a lot more quickly than the finishes of a home.
The word timeless is so timeless.
Thanks, Syd. I knew you were gonna give me a hard time about that. Yeah.
But like talking about ups and downs, do you remember on install day there was like a blizzard that was preventing the delivery for all the furniture? And I remember I was out there.
Syd was on a snowplow. I was days before giving, why
Yes.
am I always days before giving birth? And I remember my feet so swollen, I could only wear Ugg boots. They'd only fit into Ugg boots. And so that's what we were, that's what, you know, had to be done.
We only had 3 kids over 10 years,
We've
but
had 3 kids over 10
somehow
years,
it always
and
did-
it always is like, we're filming
mega
mega projects. This was, I would say, very, very first webisode that showcased an entire home. It was really exciting for us. Like, we had like an intro song. And no one was doing the video house tour in this way. And so we felt really confident that this was the future of Studio McGee. And then next was the Windsong project. It was a remodel at the very beginning of what I would call the modern farmhouse style that put it and us on the map. It is a very beautiful home, and I still will walk into other people's homes where I can see that they were inspired by that home today, and that's cool.
Timeless.
Next big project for us was
SM Ranch House.
SM Ranch House. This project is in my book that launched last year, and we designed it years ago. It still feels organic and textural and luxurious. I'm really proud of that project because I think that that's when we had this switch flip to where we were kind of allowed to dabble in things that weren't always just light and airy. Oh, I was also going to say that this was the first, Modern Mountain Home was the first hallway shot that we ever did. And people went wild over it. Ever since then, like the repeated light fixtures down the hallway and a beautiful bank of windows has been very, very Studio McGee.
What stood out to me is these were bigger. It was like, even with your parents' home with like a nod to like farmhouse, like, okay, I'm doing this in my own style and I can do a whole home. And then now I'm doing a huge whole home, but I can do it in a modern way where there's still my style.
We've evolved, but you can see that there are still points of connection between where we started and where we are now.
What's your style?
People always ask me, what is this style? What do you call your style? And for me, it's Studio McGee. The style is Studio McGee. We have developed an aesthetic over the years, and it's all about mixing modern and traditional. It's taking a client's style and then putting the Studio McGee perspective on it. As the projects grow and the budgets grow and we establish a name for ourselves, there is more trust typically built in, and that allows us to really push and pay attention to every single detail. Before McGee Co was even a thing, we said, let's sell pillows. They don't break in transit. So Syd and I figured out how to use InDesign, and
at the time, I felt like it was the equivalent of you telling me to go into the mountains and catch a deer with my bare hands. Like, that's how difficult this pillow thing felt like, and finding the linen. And you said that's not the right linen. I didn't even know there was different kinds of linen.
Syd designed a few of them. I was trying my hand at it. Oh my gosh. It's like, I am so embarrassed, but also like, hey, we've come a long way, so good for us.
We wouldn't be here today without it, you know?
Yeah, that really got us going in figuring out how to run an online e-commerce business, and vendors wouldn't let us sell their product when we first started out. So we said, we're going to grow to the point where they cannot say no to us. So that's what we did.
We made some early mistakes in building out our e-commerce site. One of them was with the platform we were going with, and yeah, things were crashing. So
it was
a mess.
Awesome and scary, because when we launched, people were ready for it. People were really buying from the site, and it was so exciting. So we had to take the whole McGee Co site offline to rebuild it and put it on Shopify and relaunch it. So that was
for like 2 weeks. We took it off for like 2 weeks, right? And then brought it back online.
Yeah.
And we've been up ever since. So a lot of ups and downs.
I think that was a make or break moment for us, because we were determined to make McGee Co work no matter what.
I think we did navigate it well, and eventually arrive with like a team that we could build with.
Look at that. You remember our first catalog?
Yeah, in Midway. Kind of looked like a Peaky Blinder with a haircut.
I was looking at my own hair
we all look
as
at
well.
ourselves.
We look at ourselves. Yeah. I'm really proud of this catalog, because I still look back at this and I'm like, This was our very first attempt at doing a catalog, and it's really cute, and I'm proud of us.
The team did so good.
The team did great. Look at our cute wreaths. Our cute wreaths.
This thing's timeless.
Our first time working with a location that we found, and at the end of our installs, we would ask the clients if we could take a few pictures of products in their homes. And this was the first time that this was 100% McGee Co. I still love this. It was at this point when we were like, okay, we're gonna build a brand. We're gonna build a brand. We can do this. And forgot about the crashing website.
Like the meme where the guy's sitting, everything's on fire around him and just says it's fine, you know?
We also shared a little recipe in that catalog. I just remember having to pour the syrup over and over. Syd always just tells me that how to be a successful entrepreneur is just to never quit. And I think that that's true. The Williamson counter stool is the first furniture piece that we ever designed and manufactured completely for McGee Co. We wanted to hit a lot of needs that we were looking for but couldn't find in the marketplace, and one of them was mixed metals. We've learned a lot through the process and designed hundreds and hundreds of products since. We were really close to signing on a new retail space, and then COVID hit, and we were like, oh my gosh, no retail. This is not a good idea, and decided to sit for a minute.
Yeah, it's hard because I think when we go to grab Sidecar Donuts, which we always do when we're down there, I see that location, I still feel like that should be our store. That's our old store.
I feel very nostalgic about passing by. I think now we're at a place where that's what I really want to focus on next.
You're always twisting my arm like I don't want it.
I mean, you say you're up for it, and then you say no, not yet, and then.
Well, like most everything with you, I am, and then I see like the bill, and then I'm like, I don't think I'm up for it as much anymore.
Stop! Cut that.
I think they're gonna cut most. I don't even think I'm gonna be in this video.
Target launched in 2020.
It was a good launch.
Right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was wild because I wasn't able to go into the stores to see our very first collection, but it sold out within minutes and exceeded our expectations. I think it far exceeded Target's expectations. We didn't have a show yet, that hadn't come out, so we did not have that recognition. All of that was because of our loyal Instagram community. It was very exciting. Confidence boost that we could do it, that we could have these partnerships with brands and really know that we have built a community that would get behind them, where people recognized Studio McGee because they went into Target and walked past, the life-size cutout of me.
You got tons of pictures of people being like,
my dad is the best. Every time he goes into a Target store, he takes a picture of himself next to me and with a thumbs up. And it makes my heart burst because he is so proud. So next was Netflix. Are you ready for this?
Oh, heck yeah.
So we did 4 seasons of Dream Home Makeover, and it was like, hey, you're working with this person, get started on that design. We're gonna do the walkthrough in a couple weeks, and then we're gonna start demo. Right now, our interior design studio is designing dream homes for clients across the country.
Hello, good morning.
All right, this is her in all her glory.
It's a small space, and that just takes careful space planning.
Easy peasy.
It was a really new process for our design team to kind of figure out how to logistically make everything happen. And thank heavens we have a warehouse full of furniture from McGee Co, because inevitably something wouldn't show up, or we had to, change the timeline. It took about 10 months to film each season. And
I thought you were gonna say 10 years, but it just felt like 10 years.
It felt like 10 years, yeah.
It feels so different in here. I'm just like,
Shiz is going down.
so you guys ready?
We had businesses to run and a family to raise, and I was pregnant or very, very recently postpartum for 2 full seasons. So
You were a freaking champ, dude.
And I was filming in an air-conditioned-less warehouse They put a big fan next to me that they would turn on between takes to try to cool me down. Oh my gosh, I was a mess. Inside, and outside.
You held it together really well.
And then doing a photo shoot for People magazine in the hospital. Someone is like helping me apply makeup because I couldn't even stand up. I mean, like I was probably like in a diaper at that point. Are you kidding me? Like, oh my gosh, it was a really tough time.
It's really hard for me too.
And it was really hard for Syd too.
I'm just kidding. It was hard. I love you. You're a champ.
Honestly, it was really tough personally, but really cool to see all of these beautiful families and the joy that we were able to bring to them in their homes and change the way they live in their homes. That I think made it worth it. And the number of people that we have stop us on a daily basis to tell us that they watch Dream Home Makeover with their kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my favorite. You stole it from me.
It is. I stole it from you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my favorite, is running into people and they're not only saying that they enjoy the show, but that they watch it as a family.
Yeah, it's not
And
about the fact that
kids
they
love
watch the show. The warm fuzzy for me is that they watch it as a family, and that makes my heart just burst. The fact that we were able to do 4 seasons of a show that brought people and families together is something that I will be grateful for life.
Think about how hard it is to make everyone in the family happy. It's hard.
Oh
but
my
we
gosh,
did it.
it's so
We did
hard
it.
to make everyone in
Like,
the family
freaking
happy.
Incredible. I mean, biggest accomplishment yet, you know?
We get asked a lot if we're doing another season, and the answer is no. We are back to our roots doing YouTube. We've been doing YouTube since the very beginning of Studio McGee, and Syd was the videographer, and you know, we didn't have a mic even. We were working on the sound. We were working
Your job is safe, okay? Your job's safe. Don't worry.
So
no threat here.
We've come a long ways, but it's fun to get back to our roots and be more design focused. So I'm going to be the interviewer today. And I'm so excited because everything looks fantastic. Everything's been designed kind of from afar. They built the sets. Our client, Jason Castro, is a baseball player. We've designed it to put on the market really soon. We've done a few episodes that follow the progress of the design and build of this home. Oops. Did you?
Very proud dad moment.
I got a plan. You need to study these boards
gosh.
because you
Okay.
are going to head up this install. I'm not going to be there.
Feels like going to the grocery store. Really daunting. This is not what a California boy expects in January.
There was a centipede. It was large.
Every time it gets bigger.
Nope. Oh, where is it?
Right there.
Great outdoors, which Shea loves.
As long as I have access to a clean bathroom and a cozy bed.
I figured out what was wrong with my steaks is that my tongs were too long.
While you're working on that, I'm gonna start preparing.
Well, you said don't touch it. What am I working on?
You're just looking at it. You're just staring at it, making sure it's okay.
Okay, what about you, Margot? What are you gonna put on yours?
I like this. I like this. I like this.
In the living room, the first thing you see is the view. The view from standing here and here and here and here. Even if that's I'm making a pesto or a sandwich sauce, it just goes a long way to have fresh herbs.
I think YouTube is great because we get to work with our team that we love, and it's a little bit more efficient, and it's focused on a lot of content that we really enjoy like creating. So whether that's, you know, home tours or food or product that we're
Or
producing.
how-to videos.
How do you evolve it though? You're saying you want to evolve it? Be like, subscribe.
No.
Whoa, leave a comment.
No,
Or
I'm
like-
just saying that I love to share that insight into the why behind the process and how we arrived at the results that we did. It also allows us to be reactive because if we're seeing a lot of questions about certain things, then we can say, hey, in 2 weeks, we're gonna make a video about how to style your bed or, you know, about wallpaper or whatever the questions are focused on.
Just had to reach out and get my own agent because my screen time has fallen off quite dramatically since we stopped filming Netflix. So
Okay.
you'll be hearing from them.
Yeah, all right, you got it. It doesn't matter how many videos I do, your videos will always be the #1 watch. It's fine.
All right, come at me. Come at me in the comments.
He's
I
the
don't
fun
care.
one.
Take your
He's
shot.
the fun one. I get it. I know.
We're losing light, so I gotta get to eating, guys. Let's go.
What do you think about our face being on People magazine? It's like, oh my gosh, we're on People magazine. And then it says flat broke right next to our faces. We're forever memorialized next to the words flat broke on People, you know? Okay, we launched a book about our entrepreneurial journey before we launched a coffee table book. And people were mad that there were no photos. Every single review for the first little bit was, there are no pictures. There are no pictures. I'm like, I know, it's not a picture book. And
Tricked ya.
tricked ya. So really happy we came out with that book with pictures a couple years later. And now we have this beautiful coffee table book full of inspiration. But the third one is food, and there's not as much writing. So I can just focus on the food and the photos and just a little bit of writing, and so it's great. It's
But
gonna
thanks,
be
Dave,
awesome.
because thanks to you, I get to go back to my high school reunion and say I'm a New York Times bestseller
Yep.
author.
The next 10 years looks like us continuing to evolve as designers and creatives. And that means that timelessness that you keep laughing at me for saying really comes into play here. It's making sure that we are designing homes that have longevity, and it's encouraging our clients to really embrace authentic materials and trust us to mix in old and new, because that's where our sweet spot is.
You got 10 more in you?
I got 10 more in me.
I don't
Yeah.
believe you. Gotta say it like it, make me believe. It's only better than that.
I've got 10 more in me. No, I have so many things that I want to do still. Like, I'm not done. I have a lot of dreams and aspirations for our company. And as we have grown over time, we've assembled an amazing team that I know that we can accomplish them together. I think that with every down, there has been a lesson learned and an up that followed, because we didn't take the down and say, I quit. We said, what can we learn from that, and pivot and come out stronger and better for it as individuals and as a company.
There's always some other side to the challenges of what we're doing. And I don't know, I think there's still so much more to do. And I'm excited. Hopefully I can come along with you. Hopefully I'm on that team that you're thinking about.
I'm only
So it might be implied.
staying in this for 10 more years if you're staying in this for 10 more years.
Okay.
Okay.
So, help. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you made me a New York Times bestseller. You took me to the big leagues, all right? No, I'm just excited for what is ahead. And there's a lot more fun things to do. And we're excited to share that with everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Is that I told Syd I was gonna quit drinking Diet Coke last night.
No, this morning.